Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the first week that I'll be doing an overview of a few instruments, not just the dollar index, that might be tradable during the week. So let's start. This week is the week going from February the 23rd, Monday, to February the 27th, Friday. I'll recap with the dollar index, although I made a video specifically for that because I think it's still useful. So at the moment, I'm expecting a slight depreciation of the dollar index. So finish this move to the downside and then a continuation of the upside. So if you want, I can move this here so we don't get confused. I'm on the daily here, right? But we can look at it on the 1 hour. So we had on Friday, we had dollar depreciation, and then it started correcting, and we have a pullback, which happened in the Asian session at the beginning of today. I think this is a pullback. So I bought the euro dollar on Friday, and in the morning actually, or maybe not. I bought it in the New York session, so I don't remember really. I would have to look at my account. But anyways, and I'm still holding it because I think I've even fibbed this. You can go and watch my video specific for the dollar. So I think I'm going to add to the position somewhere around this 50%, 61% retracement up to the 186 level or 189 level, 1.186, 1.189, right? And then I'll be looking for the sell. If you think it's a better idea to focus on the sell, I can agree with that, because on the bigger picture, as I mentioned last week and the week before, we're looking for big movement on the dollar. So possibly not just up to here, but also continuation, right? So long-term dollar appreciation. I know this is the opposite of what the majority of people are saying in social media here, but this is what I see and this is what I'm telling you. So we're looking at, after this first slight depreciation, we are looking for the up move, right? So be careful this week. That would mean long-term sell on the euro dollar, long-term sell on the pound dollar, longer-term buy on the dollar CAD, and so on and so forth. Let's look at gold and silver now, because everyone is going crazy about this. Okay, so what happened here? Let's start from silver actually, because that is the one that moves with, you know, bigger moves, has moved the most. So we had a 34% drop on the price of silver on the very last days of the very last day of January, actually January 30th to be precise. We had a massive 34% drop, and the following days, right? You can put a price checker on this and just check it. But anyways, it touched the 121 dollar and it went back to 64 at some point. So that's actually 47% drop, right? So it was 34% drop on the one day, but then it was 47, and now it started retracing, right? But you can see these moves are pretty clear because they are three-piece moves, right? Let me put it on the 4 hour, so that gives you a better idea. So you have a 1, 2, 3 with divergence, right? And then you, at this moment, you're in a 1, 2, 3, right? Now, the big question is this correction over? Is it going to go further? Is it going to come and retest the high? Well, it's too early to tell, right? Because at the moment we are in this move. Correction, move, right? we're still in the upside move, right? You even had a small setup here that would have been on I'm not sure if that would have been on Friday. Let's check. That would have been on Friday, yeah. But that's like, Friday night. Sorry, Friday starting at the Asian Friday during the Asian session, right? So if someone would have been trading the Asian session, they would have got the SPY. And now the big question that everyone has is this going to come and retest the top, the all-time highs, or what is it going to do? Well, it's too early to tell, as I said, but it doesn't seem like it's going to do that. We will only know if this continues to go, this continues to grow on the MACD, then we'll have another pullback, and then it will continue. We see that it will continue, right? So only when this pullback is developed, we can start thinking about a potential retest of the top area. As it stands now, it definitely doesn't look like that, right? There is no trade at the moment on this, unless you're still in the trade from Friday, but you would have still closed it, right? Because you would have met your target already. Even if you're measuring this move, you would have already been at the target. So I'm more inclined to look at this as the formation of a trend to the downside, which can have several different inclinations. But it's too early to tell. The euro has a slightly different structure, so it has one sharp move, and this kind of gives it away, right? Also for silver, because it has a sharp move down, which is not a 1, 2, 3 end of the story. This is a single piece and a single move, right? And then we're coming for the correction. So you have 1, 1, 2, 3, and another one, which already, by the way, broke the top, and it has divergence. Now, this divergence is not confirmed, right? It's just a smaller time frame divergence, because this can continue to go and this can continue to grow, and the divergence would be disappearing at some point, right? So we cannot be sure of this. But what we can be sure, let me get rid of this trend line because it might be confusing. What we are sure about is that we're still in this move here, right? So let's give it some more space, and then at some point this week, we would be looking for a short, another short. Now, when will we stop looking for a short? Well, if it comes and breaks the high again. But as in so far as this move that looks like a correction, we'll be looking for one more down, because this alone is usually not the whole correction, right? And let's not forget that we're also in the range of the move down, right? So until we come out of the range one way or the other, we're going to assume that this is going to be a three-piece structure, right? So if we get a sell somewhere here, we will be looking for a sell. If we we need to observe it, but if we find a sell setup, from a decent area, and the higher the better, we will be taking the sell, right? So somewhere between today and Thursday, we will be looking for a sell. If this is going to stay here and have a huge a barrier, so a rejection, so it won't be able to go higher, then we're looking for a sell from this area. If it corrects with a small correction and goes one more up, we will be checking on this and we'll get a sell from higher. Either way, at the moment, there is no buy. If you were in the buy, you would have closed it. You would have taken profit, and you're just going to be waiting for this. Oil, we should look at the yen pairs also. So the yen pairs look like more upside, because the Japanese yen itself looks like more downside. This looks like a huge correction, broke the high, divergence confirmed, because it's in the red on the MACD on the 4-hour. So I would be looking for downside. So I would be looking for buy on all the yen pairs. So pound yen buy, euro yen buy, dollar yen buy, CAD yen buy. Now, how do you deal with the fact that you're also looking at euro dollar, one moving either faster than the other or one appreciating against the other? Well, you can skip the euro dollar and you can skip the euro yen and the dollar yen in the yen pairs. You can focus on the pound yen and the CAD yen. That's kind of a good idea, right? So this could turn into a buy setup anytime soon, and you will focus on the buy and keep it until the break of the top, and that's your target. And same for the pound, right? This can turn it into a buy. This actually already looks like a buy setup information, and you can keep it, right? And this is going to give you a very nice risk to reward if you look at it, right? It's kind of a 1 to 4. Sorry, my drawing tool is absolute crap. I need to change it. Either way, oil. This is interesting, right? So I published oil a while ago. Several times, right? And et cetera, right? Because I knew this was going to happen. If you look at the oil on the weekly, this is a very strong area of interest. It's a big area of interest, though, right? So you don't know where the move is stopping or start, right? It almost like a huge support resistance area, but it's also very big, right? It's like from 50 to 65, so it's a $15 discrepancy, right? It's too big of an area. But at the same time, if you looked at this on the smaller time frame, you would have noticed that it came to this area 3 consecutive times and then a fourth one. So 1, 2, 3, and then a fourth one. So and then when this small thing happened, right, a move up with a big correction at the beginning, well, this would have been your first buy, right? I like to look at oil on this time frame, 12-hour, and then 4-hour and 1-hour. So when I was looking at this, the time that I published the buy, I was looking at the divergence between the higher lows, which is a good way to look at another way to look at the divergence on the MACD, and that was confirmed actually, right? Because you're trending up, right? And you can see there's a trend here, right? And then the trend moved. It became a steeper trend, like almost like a channel, right? You can see it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that between this low, this was like a middle low. This was a pullback on the retest of the area. It wasn't. I'm not considering that as a low on the trend. But between here and here, you do have higher lows and lower lows on the MACD, right? So you would be looking. This was a perfect spot to get into the buy. This was a good buy. This would have been a good buy, but if you didn't get this would have been a great buy, and that would have been Friday. Now, Friday was a really good day because oil moved, I think, 5% almost. Let's check. Yeah, 4.44%. If you look at the Friday candle. No, that was Wednesday. Sorry, I'm making a mistake. So Wednesday was a really good buy on oil. I hope someone looked at the charts and got it. There was a trend break of an internal trend. This is kind of a tricky one to get because you have a 1, 2, 3 here. This comes up, the divergence is confirmed. So this is an inner trend, right? This is kind of risky because this could come up and still come down, right? But it had already done it. 1, 2, 3, come up and then another down, right? So I'm not supposing it's going to make a 5-piece here, right? I'm not assuming that. So this would have been your buy. It moved pretty fast, so you would have only been able, if you're really experienced, to get a 15-minute or 30-minute candle, and not much, kind of like a jump in the dark, this one, because there wasn't a really perfect structure, a very small pullback after the break of this trend, right? So this would have been your buy, this would have been your buy, maybe here, but you know, you don't get a buy at the breaking area, right? But guess what? You had another buy in the morning, which I got, and I'm in break even already, because if this comes down, then it's perfect, because I'll be buying again, right? And this is the correction out of the trend. So in the bigger picture, we're going to have more upside. Now, in my publication, I said that the target would have been the 66 area, which we already met, because if you press play here, we met at the target. But then I commented on February, target is reached, but we're only partially closing as a change in structure has formed, and it seems now we're heading to the 82 area. So $82 is my target now. Maybe that's a little too optimist, but I'm definitely looking for this, right? So somewhere between the 77 area and the 82 area is my target. And this is your buy. This small correction above this bigger correction is your buy. And it can move pretty fast, right? This can happen in a week. This week, sorry, right? It's not so. If you like the buy, get the buy. Now, technically, your stop would have to be here, but I would keep my stop here, right? And if it comes down and it takes you out, you wait for another up move, another correction, and you buy it again, right? If you're ready in the buy and you want to know if you can put it in break even from the morning, in the buy from the morning, so from this, I would put it in break even. Mine is in break even. I mean, I added a position and it's in break even. So oil is good, and we can also look at platinum as we looked at the other precious metals. I also have copper, but I'm going to skip that because I don't really trade it. It's and for technical reasons. And platinum also, the lot size is huge on my broker side, so I don't like to trade it. But some people do, and it's not different from silver, because you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here with divergence, and then it's coming for a correction on the 1 hour. If I put it on the 4 hour or daily, it's going to be a single piece. Actually, 4 hour, it's a 3-piece structure. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, on the 4 hour, and still, and daily, it's a single piece. I don't see much different. This looks like a correction. If we fib this, it's very. It hasn't even come back to the 380, which means basically that this can go on till the 0.5 area for a ABC correction, and then one more down, at least to this area again, and then might come for a bigger correction. We'll see, but definitely, if you're not in the buy, you're thinking about cashing in, and you're not gonna get another buy. What else? I haven't checked natural gas. Okay, this is interesting. We were looking for a long-term buy, but then we had to close it because you have divergence now. And at the break of the stop, the positions were closed, and luckily so, because now we're back to 3.3. This can still be a slow start, but as it stands now, there are no buy setups, and we don't have a buy today either way. Can this come for one more up? Yes, it can, because you have at the moment you're having lower highs, either though even though you're having a divergence on the upside, you're still getting lower highs and higher lows and lower lows on the MACD. So this can still come up, but we don't have a buy setup today. We can start looking for one, right? Because this move here has performed 1, 2, 3. You can see it. They measure. They're almost equal. Actually, this looks like a small buy setup. And when it comes here, I would be putting it into break even. So this would be, well, this usually moves in the New York session. So, and it would have been very hard to get into the SPY from the London session. So yeah, I would wait. If it comes above this level and gives you a correction, then we can buy, but I wouldn't buy here because this can drop again. Other things, they're in the dark at the moment, so I've checked them earlier, so I'm not seeing any setup on the Swiss 20, the German DAX, or the French 40 that can be takeable now or today. Maybe later we might get something, but I see setups on these more happening tomorrow because I don't see that it in time for the New York Open. These are gonna set up nicely for an operation. Okay, this is already pretty long. It's over 20 minutes, so I hope this was a useful start of the week overview, and thank you for being here. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you other times here on the channel. Remember to subscribe if you're looking for future updates, so I'm motivated. Just kidding. No, you can subscribe, but if you don't feel like, I understand. I'm going to be here for the long term, so I'll see you hopefully soon in any case. Have a good day and a good week, everyone.